Hey YouTube! Today we've got a bit of a renovation project. Welcome back to my channel if you're a subscriber. If you're not, welcome to the channel and hit that subscribe button. Now, my content today is a little bit different. You may have seen some of my really old videos. I have this Stratocaster, and this is what I call my first guitar. Technically, I bought one guitar before this one, but it was a Telecaster that I really didn't jive with. So this is the second guitar I bought only weeks after the first one, and I held on to this one because it was a great guitar. Now, when I bought this was a bone stock beginner's Austin Stratocaster. 3 singles, cheap trem, cheap pickups, the whole nine. And pretty quickly after I bought it, I swapped out the bridge pickup for a humbucker, and I swapped out the middle pickup for Mexican Stratocaster single coil. Now, through the years, making a long story short, I've modded this a few different times. I've put a humbucker in the neck. I've put a different humbucker in the bridge. I've had push-pull pots. It's had various things. Right now what we've got is we have Grover tuners. We have roller saddles. We have 2 Dragonfire humbuckers and a Dragonfire single coil. 5-way blade switch, 2 volumes, 1 tone. And we have a mini toggle switch here that splits the coils. And then we have a Mexican Fender trem. Now, the goal for this guitar was versatility. Just have a guitar that can do anything. We got single coil tones, humbucker tones, and this does the versatility job really well. But I'm now in a place in my guitar journey where I don't need this to be a do-it-all guitar. I've got my Schecter Reaper, which has great single coil tones, great humbucker tones. I have my Gibson Les Paul, which has splittable humbuckers. I've got my PRS Custom 24 on a 5-way blade. Even some of my performance guitars, my Rat Fink guitar over there it has Dragonfires on coil splits, etc., etc. I don't need another versatile guitar. I have plenty of versatile guitars. What I need now is a really good Strat, just the best Strat that I can make this. So I'm going to leave the roller trees and the Grover tuners. They're working great. I'm going to swap the nut. This is still the original plastic nut that the guitar came with. I'm going to swap it for a graphite nut, specifically the Graphtec Tusk graphite nut. I'm going to swap out the trem for a Goto 2-point trem. I think they're just way more smooth, way more stable than these Mexican 6-point trems, so I'm going to go ahead and throw one of those on there. Lastly, I'm going to put Dragonfires back in because I really like Dragonfire pickups for the price, but I'm just going to do the standard 3 single coils so I can really dial in all of those Strat tones. So with that, let's jump to the workbench and make it happen. Alright, so I've done a little bit of preliminary work. I went ahead and took the screws out of the pick guard. I went ahead and took the strings off, and I did a little bit of fretboard maintenance. I polished up the fret edges so they'd be nice and smooth and rounded. Cleaned up and hydrated the fretboard. So next, we're going to go ahead and remove the electronics. Now, to make this easy on myself, I am just going to remove the jack plate, a couple of Phillips head, and then I'm going to go ahead and just remove these wires right here. There we go. That was embarrassingly more trouble than it needed to be, or that I thought it was going to be. Oh, next we do have to go ahead. That's embarrassing. Take this off. Alright. This should just pull right out. Next, what we're going to do is take this bridge off. I'm going to go ahead, pull the trim springs off. You can see in the past where I've done a little bit of routing for different electronics. Alright, this is the trim I had in there. You can see, not really a bad trim. Nice thick block. Pretty smooth action right here. But I think the 2-point trim is just going to be better. So we're going to go ahead and give that a shot. Okay, so next I need to drill the holes for the 2-point. And it looks like that hole is perfect for where we want it to be. Okay. So the other one should be centered about right here. So we've got 1 and 2. Alright, now I've got my little stud here. I'm going to take this little stud and I'm going to mark the drill bit so that I don't accidentally go too deep. So we only want to go about that far. Okay. So I don't want to drill in any further than that. Okay. Okay, now we have our new electronics. So I ordered this from Dragonfire Guitars, the Dragonfire Guitars website, and I went ahead and did a pre-wired pickguard option for a few reasons. Number one, once you get the components like CTS pots, Dragonfire pickup switch, pickguard, when you buy these all individually, it almost costs the same to go ahead and just have Dragonfire do the hard part of wiring it all up. The other part that I like about this is the control figuration. I cannot find a pickguard that only has one tone and one volume in these lower spots. I hate hitting that volume when I'm playing. So the fact that you can order this from Dragonfire pre-wired, I went with ceramic magnets for the bridge and neck, and I went for Alnico magnets in the middle. I'm wondering if I'm going to wish I'd just done Alnico for the whole thing, but yeah, we'll see. I decided to go with this. So this is also, again, going to be super easy. Dragonfire does a really good job of making this just super user-friendly to soldering. So these are going to go to the jack plate. Go ahead and put those through here. This is going to go into the trem. I'll go ahead and stick that down in this hole. Okay. And then voila. Great. It's nice. No drama. Okay, so I think that hot goes to this longer one and ground goes to the shorter one. I may be wrong, but that's what I'm going to try here. So. I'm getting tired of all the questions. Okay. Those are very nicely and securely soldered in. So we can go ahead and screw this one on. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to test it. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and screw the pickguard in first. Alright, I believe that sound means that I've got these crisscrossed. I think that the ground is going to go on the long one, and hot is going to go on the short one. Alright. So now let's try this one more time. Alright. Perfect, that's what we want to hear. So wiring is good. You can now go ahead and secure everything down.
Will they remember me when I leave them all behind? Did I touch their lives? Did I give them mine? When I'm dead and gone, will they know I believe the plan? And if I get a second chance, I swear I'll become a man. How will they remember me when I leave them all behind? Did I touch their lives? Did I give them mine? When
Okay, so the guitar's done. I did a couple of things off camera just because it was so fiddly. So what you didn't see is I put on a Graphtec Tusk XL nut. It was too short, so I had to shim it. And I just used blue painter's tape. Couple layers of that on the bottom to get it as tall as it needed to be. Worked out perfectly. On the back, there's not a back plate yet. I have one ordered. But I ended up using 2 springs. I got the trem adjusted exactly where I wanted it to be. And I strung it up and gave it a setup. And setting up trems is a little bit finicky when you very first install them. But I've got it dialed in. It sounds great. So I'm going to refer to this as my dream Strat, which is true. A lot of that does come down to sentimental value. This Strat I've had like for 16 years, and it is just jam-packed with mojo. The neck was satin when I bought it. It is now played into a gloss, which is really cool. These are the original frets. They're getting pretty worn, but they still have some life left in them, which is awesome. And then, like I said, this guitar was basically brand new when I bought it, so every ding and nick on it is one that I put there, likely transporting it to or from a gig, or maybe it fell over in my practice room or whatever. But yeah, I've transitioned this from the most versatile guitar to just the very best Strat that this Strat can be. So it's got the Goto 2-point trem, nice trem arm. It's got 3 single coils now instead of the humbuckers with the split option. My favorite feature is that it only has a single volume, single tone, and no knob right here to get in the way when I'm playing. So if I flick my trem arm back, I'm chugging or whatever, nothing's going to be in the way. I love the 2-point trem. Super stable, especially when paired with the Graphtec nut and the roller string trees. So yeah, let's go ahead and just rock a couple tones for you, and then we'll be done with this video. Yep, great Strat. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. The next thing I've got on the channel is a signature guitar from one of our favorite guitarists from one of the coolest metal bands of the 80s and 90s, Metallica. We'll see you later.